Hi, everybody. It is Saturday, June 24th. We had a great show last night in Champaign, Illinois, and then drove after the show. And we are now on the outskirts of Milwaukee because today we are playing Summerfest here in Milwaukee, which I've played a number of times in the past. I remember playing here the last time with James Taylor when we were here, wandering around the event, because there's multiple stages all over the place. It's a big deal that goes on for a while. And walking in, there was Roy Orbison on stage singing, crying. And we just went, oh my God, it was something special. And the thing that was really cool was we had an opening act with James, and it was Mac McAnally, who sounds so much like James. It's unbelievable. It was a really interesting evening of these two voices that really sounded very similar, the writing, and both unique and special writers. So it was pretty cool. Sad not to be home today, though, in LA, because today is the first screening at the Grauman's Chinese Theater, or now the Chinese Theater, of our Immediate Family documentary. It's a sold-out show there, and I would love to have been there for the Q&A and the hang afterwards with everybody. And then there's a second, because since it's sold out so fast, there's a second screening on Monday, this coming Monday, the 26th. I think that's in the afternoon, like at 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon. But if anybody's around and wants to go see that, go check it out. It's really great. Denny Tedesco did such a remarkable job on this film, and he made us actually seem like something. So, but I'm also really excited because I just got off the phone with Daryl Sturmer, the guitar player from Phil Collins's band and from Genesis, and he lives in Milwaukee, and he can't make the gig, but he's on his way over. He should be here in about 45 minutes, and we've got a couple of hours before we have to check out of the hotel. So it'll be the first time I've seen Daryl since the end of Phil's Not Dead Yet tour. So I'm really excited about that because he's like my hang on the road. Daryl and I have been on the road together for so many years together, and he's such a dear friend. So it's going to be really great to spend a little time with him. So I want to get this video in, and then I'll probably do a video. I'll do a wander through the Summerfest and see what that's all about, see what kind of food they got, and see what's going on other stages and all. I have no idea. It's been many years since I've been there, so it'll be good to see that. So I was digging around for some music, and I came across another an album that I did, but this is really different and really unique. And it's like you have to kind of sit for a minute and go, oh, get into it. And then you realize this is really serious stuff. It's an artist named Joanna Newsom. And this was another one of the projects that I did with Van Dyke Parks. I'm going to read you a little about Joanna here. It says, Joanna Caroline Newsom was born January 18th, 1982, as an American singer-songwriter and actress. Born and raised in Northern California, Newsom was classically trained on the harp in her youth and began her musical career as a keyboardist in the San Francisco-based indie band, The Pleased. After recording and self-releasing 2 EPs in 2002, Newsom was signed to the independent label Drag City. Her debut album, The Milk-Eyed Mender, was released in 2004 to critical acclaim and garnered Newsom an underground following. She would receive wider exposure with the release of It's spelled YS in 2006, which is the album I worked on with her, which charted at number 134 on the Billboard's Top 200 and was nominated for a 2007 Shortlist Music Prize. She released 2 further albums, Have One on Me and Divers, the latter of which outsold her previous albums. Newsom has been noted by critics for her unique musical style, which is absolutely true, sometimes characterized as progressive folk, and for her prominent use of harp instrument. She also appeared as an actress with roles in the television series Portlandia and in the 2000 film Inherit Vice. A little bit more here. Newsom was born blah, blah, blah. In Grass Valley, California, her parents, both doctors, were progressive-minded professionals who previously lived in the San Francisco Bay Area. Newsom was raised in Nevada City along with her older brother Peter and younger sister Emily. She is the second cousin, twice removed, of Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. As a child, Newsom was not allowed to watch television or listen to the radio. She described her parents as kind of idealists when it came to hoping that they could protect us from bad influences like violent movies or stupid stuff. She was exposed to music from a young age. Her father played guitar and her mother was a classically trained pianist who played the hammered dulcimer, autoharp, and congas. Newsom attended the Waldorf School where she studied theater and learned to memorize and recite long poems. At age 5, Newsom asked her parents if she could learn to play the harp. Her parents eventually agreed to sign her up for harp lessons, but the local harp instructor did not want to take on such a young student and suggested she learn to play piano first. She did, later moved on to harp, which she loved from the first lesson onward. She first played on smaller Celtic harps until her parents brought her a full-size pedal harp in the 7th grade. After high school, she studied composition and creative writing at Mills College, where she played keyboards in The Pleased. She dropped out, however, in order to focus on her music and returned to live with the family in Nevada City. Then it goes on with all kinds of information about her career, which is really interesting. Let me see if they got something about this album. Hold on one second. Okay, here it goes. Her second album, I guess that's how you would pronounce it, YS, was released in November 2006, also by Drag City. The album features orchestrations and arrangements by Van Dyke Parks, engineered by Steve Albini and mixed by Drag City label mate Jim O'Rourke. On the road trip, Bill Callahan recommended that she listen to the album Song Cycle by Parks, which led to him being chosen to arrange her work. To support East, Newsom performed the album live in 2008 with the Brooklyn Philharmonic in New York and with the Sydney Symphony Orchestra in Sydney, Australia. East garnered Newsom wider exposure, charting at number 134. The album was also nominated in 2007 for the shortlist prize. In 2010, it sold 250,000 copies. But then it goes on for all this other stuff. But let me read you the credits on this, because it's really quite extensive on this project. And anything with Van Dyke is always unique. I love Van Dyke. He's one of my favorite people to work with, and there's nobody like him. I mean, I did Orange Crate art with he and Brian Wilson. I did a live show for the Ash Grove show that I posted a while back with Van Dyke. Van Dyke and the great guitarist Grant Geisman and I have toured everywhere from Japan to Graz, Austria, together as a trio, and it's really fun. So let me go through these credits, and then I'm going to play you a couple of these tunes because they're really quite different than almost anything that I've posted before. This is a very unique project. So the conductor and accordion is Van Dyke Parks. The arrangements were by Van Dyke Parks. Matt Kartsonis is playing banjo and mandolin. Upright bass is Bart Samolis, Dave Stone, and Peter Dubrovsky. The bassoon is John Mitchell. Cello is Erica Kirkpatrick and Giovanna Clayton. Clarinet is Jeff Driscoll and Peter Nevin. The orchestra contractor was John Rosenberg. The copyist for all of this was William Stromberg. I'm on electric bass. Grant Geisman is on electric guitar. Patricia Cloud and Susan Greenberg on flute. Steve Dernan on French horn. Terry Schoenig on marimba and cymbalum. It was mastered by Nick Webb, mixed by Jim O'Rourke. Oboe is Philip Feather. Percussionist Don Heffington, produced by Joanna Newsom and Van Dyke Parks. Steve Albini recorded the harp and vocals. The orchestra was recorded by Tim Boyle. Trumpet is Robert O'Donnell. The violins are Adriana Zappo, Cameron Patrick, Edmund Stein, Francine Walsh, Gina Kronstadt, John Wittenberg, Julie Rogers, Larry Greenfield, Sherry Zippert, Sharon Jackson, and Vladimir Polimatidi. Viola was Brianna Bandy, it's Caroline Buckman, David Stensky, Jessica Van Velzen, Karen Elaine, Marta Todd, and Miriam Mayer. First violin and concertmaster was Peter Kent. Joanna Newsom on vocals, harp, Leon and Healy style pedal, and the songs were written by Joanna Newsom. Let's see, is anything, I think, let's see, I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead but the album is YS, capital Y, small case S, East, I believe it would pronounce. Excuse me, and it was, this is from 2006. So this is a very different project here. Hold on one sec, let me pull up one of the songs here. This one is called Monkey and Bear. And here we go, check this out.
Down in the green hay, where monkey and bear usually lay, they woke from a stable boy's cry. Said someone come quick, the horses got loose, got grass sick. They'll founder, faint, they'll die. What is now known by the sorrel and the roan, by the chestnut and the bay and the gelding gray. It is stay by the gate that you are given, and remain in your place for your season. And had they overfed it, but listen to the high fence, horse and wisdom. Did you hear that bear saying, monkey will get out of here fair and square? They left the gate open wide, so my bride still they had got to pay the bills, hadn't they? That is what the monkeys say. So with the courage of a clown, a cur, or a kite jerking tight at its tether, in her dun brown gown of fur, and a jerking of swans down in leather, there would sway on her hind legs the organ, would grind dregs of song for the pleasure of the children, would shriek, throwing coins at her feet and recoiling in terror. Sing, dance, darling, come on, will you dance, my darling? Oh, darling, there's a place for us. Can we go before I turn the doors cold? My darling, there's a place for us. Oh, darling, come on, will you dance, my darling? You keep your eyes fixed on the highest hill, where you'll ever after eat your fill. Oh, my darling, dear mine, if you'd dance, dance, darling, and I'll love you still. Deep in the night shone a weak and miserly light, where the monkey shouldered his lamb. Someone had told him the bear been wandering a fair piece away from where they were camped. Someone had told him the bear been sneaking away to the seaside caverns to bathe. And the thought troubled the monkey, for he was afraid of spelunking down in those caves. Oh, so afraid what the village people would say if they saw the bear in that state. Yelling and splashing obscenely, well, it seemed to ration away, washing that face, washing that matted and fleabed peltings on the seas, but shine old hat dripping with brine. The monkey just laughed and he muttered, when she comes back, our cellar will be bursting with pride. Till I jump up, saying you've been rolling in muck, saying you smell of garbage and grime. But far out, far now, far now, far out,
is really so different. I think that's one of the joys for me of being a studio musician is you can go from just like a pop tune one day to a funk tune the next day, and then a project like this, which is just completely the other end of the spectrum. Talk about having to memorize lyrics, God. And this is one of the short tunes. I mean, there's some others here that are like over 12 minutes long. I'm going to let you, if this intrigues you, just you can look up Joanna and then just put on some headphones and listen to this, because it's really deep. The orchestrations that Van Dyke does are really unique. There's nobody that writes like Van. I mean, when you look back to Smile with the Beach Boys, his lyrics and stuff for that, he's like one of the truly unique individuals. And I've put up a number of videos about working with Van Dyke on this channel. But it's it's to me, it's always kind of an adventure when you discover these things and you kind of sit back and you just go, oh God, yeah, I remember that. That was amazing. It's like I just put up on my Facebook page, I just put up when the Dodgers won the World Series in '81, and we ended up going in the studio with the Big Blue Wrecking Crew and cutting We Are the Champions and New York, New York with the guys like the day after they won the World Series. And it was so much fun with Chris Bond and Jeff Porcaro. We had Helen Dell, the Dodger organist, on the session. And so you just never know what you're going to get into. So I think the thing that's kept me really alive in this business and what I do is the variety, as compared to, it would have been fun to have been in a band and just been, do that one thing and have that be, your career in that. But I feel so fortunate that I've been able to sit here and just have like all these, these different influences and all these things go down on a daily basis, and then being able to be out here on the road with Toto or Phil Collins or Lyle Lovett or Linda Ronstadt. So, I feel fortunate. And so I think I'll leave it at that one, because the others are long and comprehensive, and it really bears like deeper listening once you get into it and really hear like the storytelling, because this is really kind of like a balladeer kind of music. It's like the Harry Chapins and stuff that would just tell these long, interesting stories. So that's Joanna Newsom, I love hearing harp. I every chance I get, Gail Levant is one of the main harpists in Los Angeles. Like if you hear a movie and there's harp on it, it's Gail on it. But she played with James Taylor and stuff over the years. And every time I'd be in a session, I would just be intrigued by the harp. It's just such a beautiful instrument. So, well, I'm going to take care of get this thing loaded up, and I'm going to get ready to go spend a little time with Daryl and visit my old friend there. And then we are off to Summerfest. And I'll probably just be wandering the grounds there most of the day and see what's going on. I'll try to film a bunch of that and send it up so you can see what Summerfest is all about. It's interesting to be back in the town I was born in. Even though we left here when I was 4, I don't remember a great deal, but I remember a little of it. But when I've come back to do like Daryl's albums, I've done 3 of his albums, I believe. And we did them here in Milwaukee, and it was always fun just to be here and cruise around and check it all out and think, what would my life have been had my parents not moved to Los Angeles? And taken me with them. They could have left me here, I guess, and just drop me off on a corner as a 4-year-old and let me fend for myself. But they didn't. They were kinder people than that. So I'm going to get running here. I wish everybody a great day. I hope the screening goes fabulous in LA. I know it will, and the crowd will be great. And Cooch and Steve Postel and Danny Tedesco will be doing the Q&A afterwards. But Russ and I are both pretty sad that we're not here. Not there to be a part of that. And Waddy's out with Stevie Nicks, so he couldn't be there either. But it'll be great. It's really been such an exciting journey that we've been on with this film. And this, getting close to maybe getting this thing released, which means then we can really start focusing on getting the album that's been sitting in the can for about a year now to get that thing released. So it's all good. It's all good. So I'm out of here. Have a fabulous day. I'll be back in a little while and show you Summerfest. Okay, bye-bye.